Hello once again. Thank you for tuning in. And if it's the first time here, my name is Chandra, and I hope this message blesses you or somebody out there. And today's topic is don't provoke a thing that is trying to kill you. Please use wisdom. My father wants me to come here and talk about jealousy. When God calls you into his office, you need to understand that you become light to this world, the light that cannot be hidden. Therefore, there'll be lots of forces that will come after you. You become target and magnet to both good and evil, and you should be able to see beneath the surface of things and protect yourself at all times. You need to have the intuitive understanding. You need the ability to make good judgment and focus on God alone. Never ever get tempted to try and prove anything to anyone in this world. You need to know that you don't belong to this world. You might be here on earth, but you don't belong to this world. You are not of this world. You belong to Christ and his kingdom alone. And one of the greatest spirit that is out there is the spirit of jealousy. The Bible even linked this spirit. The Bible warns us of the two spirits that link together, which is the spirit of jealousy and the spirit of envy. And the Bible also tells us in Songs of Solomon 8:6 that jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And when you come across people who are jealous, most of them, they don't even think that they have this spirit. And most of them, they don't even think that they are jealous. And when you begin to ascend, that's when you will see people for who they are. That's when you see who is who, and you know who is for you. That's when people's true colors will show. And the most hurtful thing about jealousy is that it always comes from a direction that you didn't expect it to come from. And that alone can be very hurtful, because jealousy is usually enough to snip most people. And jealousy tames you or trains you to get ready to ascend, so that when you get in contact with envy, you know how to protect yourself. You have the strength, you have the stamina, and you know how to resist it. You have that word, resistant, tough resistance. And jealousy is usually relative. It can come from people that are in the same level as you. It can come from people that are above you. And it can also come from people that are beneath you. And most cases, jealousy doesn't even make sense. It doesn't at all, because jealousy is so potent. Jealousy say, I want what you have. But when it comes to spirit of envy, it's far worse. Because spirit of envy, that spirit, it says, no, I don't want what you have. I want to be you. I want to be you. That's what envy says. And envy always comes from people who outrank you. In most cases are people who are in a better spectrum than you. People that you look at yourself and say, why would somebody like this envy me? They have it all together. But those are the people that will have that spirit of envy towards you. And envy say, I want to be you. And envy can kill you faster than jealousy. It's very dangerous. And envy, that's when people are envious, that's when you start seeing people trying to be like you, try to act like you, try to imitate you. And when people try to be like you, people are failing to understand that there's only one you in this world. And God has created us uniquely, and we all have unique fingerprint. There's no room inside of you for two people. There's no room for both of you inside of you. You are all unique. And that alone is an insult to God. Because in other words, when you're envying somebody, you're trying to tell God that he has made a mistake. It should have been you, not that person. And that alone, it's sin and blasphemy towards the Holy Spirit or towards our Father in heaven. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 27:4 that wrath is cruel and anger is outrage, but who is able to stand before envy? And the Bible also tells us in James 3:16 that for where envy and strife is, that's where confusion and evil works is. And the Bible also warns us in 1 John 3:15 that he whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. So that alone, it shows you that spirit of envy and jealousy goes with the spirit of murder. Think about the spirit of jealousy in the Bible. Think about King Herod. King Herod had the spirit of jealousy, and this spirit was a killer of visionaries and missionaries. One Herod beheaded John the Baptist, and he killed John's vision. He killed the vision of John the Baptist. And another Herod destroyed and killed the infants under the age of 2 and under, infant at the age of 2 and under, because there was a new king that was born, which was Jesus, and he was trying to destroy Jesus. And the other Herod killed James, the brother of John, and he was to kill Peter too. And another spirit, that a person that was filled with the spirit of jealousy, was Pharaoh. And he tried to kill Moses as a baby to stop him from fulfilling his purpose. But God saved Moses, just like God will save Jesus as a baby from the spirit of Herod many centuries later. The same spirit still roams the earth even up to today. Today, this spirit is always trying to stop the children of God, or is always in a quest to keep the children of God in repression. And this shows how jealous people, or how people with the spirit of jealousy and envy, how far they can go. Envy led Jews in the times of Paul to try and kill him and destroy his vision. This is in the book of Acts 13:45. It says, "But when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy and spoke against those things which were spoken by Paul, contrary and blasphemy." You can imagine, Paul was preaching the gospel, but because they could see the miracles, the signs and wonders, envy filled their heart, and they tried to say what Paul was doing was contrary to the Bible, and he was blaspheming. And think about Saul and David. Because Saul was filled with jealousy, he didn't care about the main problem they had in hand, the Philistine, but he was more focused on David, the next king, a 17-year-old. Imagine being threatened by a 17-year-old that you lose sleep, but you're not focused on the main thing that was on your hand, which is the Philistine that were terrorizing the Israelites. So it shows you how spirit of jealousy and envy can lead a person to kill somebody. That's why I'm here to tell you, don't ever try to provoke a thing that is trying to kill you. Just let things be. Sometimes all you need to know is that you don't have to prove anything to anybody except your Father in heaven. You just have to sit there and move in silence. You need to ask God for wisdom in everything that you do. You can't think that you can come to the kingdom and do things the way you used to do them when you're in the world and you think that you succeed. That's not how it works. In the world, people kill, scheme, lie to go ahead, to climb up the ladder or whatever they want to do, or to stay on top. They have to be manipulative. They have to lie. They have to convince people. They have to do all this kind of stuff to make things comfortable for themselves. But when it comes to the kingdom, it's all about God, our Father in heaven, what He has created you to do, your purpose. You are His vessel. Nothing is it's about you. It's about Him alone. So you need to understand that. You need to move in silence. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because whatever God has promised you surely will come to pass. Because you need to understand that the steps of the righteous man, they are directed by the Lord. And everything will work out for good for those who love the Lord and trust Him with all their hearts. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to show off. You don't need to do anything. You need to focus on Him and know that you are His vessel and you were created for His purpose and for His will. And you need to know how to move in silence, put your head down, be humble, and trust God with your life. I'm here to tell you, beloved, there are two spirits out there after the children of God and those who have a vision, like visionaries and missionaries. And this spirit is always trying to destroy them and try to pull them away from God. But if you're smart enough to be aware, be careful, and you're aware of these two spirits, and you're smart enough to know how they work, you can resist the devil and kick him away out of your life for good, and focus on God and focus on God alone. And none of these spirits will affect you in any way. Because when you give your life to Christ, you belong to Christ alone. And everything is all about Christ and Christ alone. And once you do that, these spirits have no charge over you, have no control over you, and nothing can happen to you. Do not provoke a thing that is trying to kill you. Use wisdom, stay humble, focus on God, and focus on your assignment alone. So I hope you've been blessed by this message. And if you have, please like and share, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching. God bless you.